It is 6:03. It is Saturday, May 22nd. This live video is in response to the Prime Minister's press conference today. I gave myself a couple notes. I sat through the whole thing. Now I listened to them all, and as usual, I looked for the holes. I looked for the lies, the double speak. What wool they're trying to pull over the nation's eyes. I'll tell you this. I have a friend. In fact, he's not just my friend. He was a former dean of mine in St. Mary's College. His name is Enrico Raja. Some of you may know him. He also is very involved in the Woodbrook business. Woodbrook Carnival, not Woodbrook Carnival, they have like Mass in May or Pan on the Avenue or something like that. He is involved in that. I think he's run Form 6 now in St. Mary's College, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, Enrico Raja. He does a good job of keeping us in the loop with all of the broadcasts from the Ministry of Health. He used to share the Guardian newspaper too, but he don't do that no more, thankfully, because nobody really read the Guardian. And you can't use an online Guardian for a birdcage, so they have it as useless as tits on a bull. Anyway, so Enrico Raja keeps me in the know where the government's attempts are concerned. Coming back to that, I want to do some housekeeping. Before I start, I want to give a shout out to a young man working Price Club in Chaguanas. His name is Daniel Chanko. That's his name, Daniel Chanko. Daniel is a nice and decent fella. He is very helpful to the owners of that supermarket. You should promote him quickly. And he tells me all the girls is his. So there's a shout out to Daniel Chanko and all his girls in Chaguanas as one piece of housekeeping. 2. Now, chalk it up to me being in a good mood. But a young lady named Genevieve Hadid came on my thread to disrespect me. Now, Genevieve, I want to tell you something, girl. You're brave. I have half the Syrian community shaving their back because they ain't want people to think them is hairy back. I know the power of my voice. If I'm in a bad mood and I come for you, girl, you drag it with you for the rest of your life. Ask your cousin Susie Hadid. She don't go out in public no more. She's had to wear shades and a hat. She don't want nobody recognize her. I know the power of my voice. It just have half of them running to the mommy, the other half just run to the court, get a lawyer. Oh God, he break me. The people, they just watch me and laugh at me. Maxi passing and pointing. My employees don't even take me serious no more. The man voice and hot, tongue sharp. I know. Genevieve, I know you. I know you. I know your mommy. I know your papi. So I ain't know if I vex with you or not yet. But I want to tell you this as advice. If you come on my wall and you see something you don't like and you think that I might be wrong, message me. You can actually even comment on the thread politely like Nikki Edgel did. Nikki Hadid Edgel. I grew up with Nikki Hadid Edgel, husband and brother and husband, 2 sisters, Francine and Nicola, and mommy and daddy. We grew up in Woodbrook together, and I out here in town long time, Genevieve Hadid. And I want to give you a chance. I never hear your name before. I never see you nowhere before. You never come on my wall before. But you speak with a kind of pompous arrogance. Like you have one of them daddies who the politicians from the PNM and the UNC just hang around looking for grace. Watch me good. They have nothing your daddy have that I want. So don't ever put God out your thoughts. Consider this a blessing. Consider this a pass, Genevieve Hadid. Consider this a ease. Because I'm in a good mood today. I ate a roti twice, today and yesterday. So I'm feeling happy. Consider this a ease. You hear me? The last piece of housekeeping, ironically, is another Syrian. I was always supposed to tell Eli Zakur that when I found out that it wasn't him or his camp during the election that pulled on my posters, that it was in fact a Finian little half-gay clown working for the other side who consider himself, he man come on my video and boast that he tear down all the banners and all the posters working in the red camp. I know you now, brother, so you can't surprise me again. If there's one thing they don't teach all is play with all your cards close to your chest. But that said, because you see, I have been in town long enough to know that when that night is run till day catch it. They're big and all they're bad out here and bad because PNM in power. When PNM not in power, all them rats ass, all them latrine rat, all them canal conk, quiet, you know. Because they're afraid the consequences of their actions. And they're afraid to get exposed. Well, let me tell you, it was my job. If I was a superhero, I'd be called the exposer. And my work and partner, I have your files. So don't worry, I could deal with you. But Eli Zakur, I have to apologize to you. Because it was not your camp, and I was wrong for saying that it was. And I am doing that. Also, because I met your grandmother, who is in her 90s. And for all her age, she's pretty boy. And she sent to call me and sit me down and tell me which Syrian is jackass and which is asshole and who not to study. I love her bad. She talks, she open my mouth, she talk like me. The nurse sit down there with her and laugh and laugh. I have neighbors who just walk around and pretend there's big shot. She tell me all of them who catching their ass, who can't pay their rent or their mortgage. I love her too bad. Anyway, Eli, you and I be back to being good, brother. Politics have a way of damaging good people and good relationships. Eli, I know your family. I know your dad. I know them long time. So I happy for the opportunity for you and me to be good again. Now, that is it for housekeeping, boy. Now, I have written two senior public officials. I have written in the past 48 hours requesting permission to operate a food bank for people suffering from COVID-19, lockdown, state of emergency, and all the nonsense that come with them being unemployed because the jackass band ain't know what to do. Let me tell you something. Enrico Raja remind me, when he sent out this thing today, that the PNM play yesterday for this press conference today was to ramp up the state of emergency. They was going from 6 to 6. And they was going to tell you 708 cases on Friday. In fact, Keith Rowley didn't get the corrected script from his communications people and said at 5:47 in the video that it was 700 cases in the last 24 hours. And I had to tell Enrico, you're sharing misinformation. And I was the one who told all of the media, be careful. And journalists have been calling me today, and to all of you, well done, thank you. And again, I want to bless Andrea Barrett for that. All of us who had problems before, we have no problems anymore. We see the bigger picture and we're working together. And to the journalists that called me today to point out that what I had to say yesterday about the 708 cases being for 7 days and not for 1 day, and that the 509 cases today was for 7 days and not for today. Stop doing that. Stop sensationalizing the thing to panic people. My mother and them listening to you, and I just have to call her after and tell her, you see that piece of shit, they talk that shit. Now my mother know her 2 sons. She only have 2 sons. And now saying that, somebody sent me a paper by my brother, lockdowns are no substitute for focus protection. He is a son of the soil. Today, they all over Facebook congratulating this girl, and now I gotta go and find Boy, let me tell you, as I remember who are commenting to, let's have this thing speeding so fast, boy. Was it Randy that asked me, boy? And Randy, why you have 2 WhatsApp? Or 3? What business you running? Alright, you know what I forget to do? Vashana Sahadiu found out she will be flying fighter jets for the United States Navy. She will be the first brown-skinned female and the first female West Indian Trini American to fly jets. So Trini all over the place, pulling out the hair under the armpits and celebrating we reach. But, and I had to say, if she had remained in Trinidad, she would be lucky to be flying kite. This place is a shithole that eats its young, that stifles their potential. Do you have big dreams? Want to soar with the eagles? You're going to have to leave the shithole behind. Sadly, no Trini who made it big did it so living here. Clyde Weatherhead, who, like David Abdullah, thinks he is an international human rights, wherever the hell they think they are, want to tell me about the girl going and bomb foreign people. Out of the million fighter pilots they have, 10 must be get to bomb anybody. But becoming a fighter pilot is a shoe-in to becoming a captain on a big airline. And her life set. So partner, Clyde, you're down here making noise, rattling whatever left in your saber. You're accomplishing jack all. You sit down with the Congress of the People for all the years that the UNC was rampaging. Think I forget? Think I forget you sitting down on the head table trying to keep us quiet when we raising in the back of the Congress of the People down by the door. And we saying, partner, this is not what the COP was for. All the way up on the top there. And your chairman who makes sure that he segue from People's Partnership into a big state board position at PNM. All you forget, some of though we're not in this politics shit for ourselves. We're not in this looking for likes and shares. If you're looking for likes and shares, you don't tell the truth. Because they just come at you. When you're in politics, I mean, Parashram is a Dwen. I feel sorry for Parashram. He's looked like a hostage. Parashram has looked like one of those women you see on the TV shows that trying to signal, rescue me, somebody, rescue me. Somebody teach Parashram. What is he saying? This is the sign. The next time you're on video, Roshan Parashram, just do this. And we will come and get you. We will rescue you. Roshan Parashram looks like he is a hostage. That somebody holding his family somewhere at gunpoint and telling him on the phone, remember what to say, remember what to say. Don't I watch some kind of movies? Netflix. The Netflix that I have to pay every month to use a Fire Stick. But the jackasses in the Trinidad and Tobago Telecommunications Authority think you could jailbreak a Fire Stick and get Netflix for free. And these are the morons. These are the absolute jackasses that get taxpayer funds. Who else? The band that votes for the PNM, that don't pay tax, that getting benefits from everybody else's taxes. That ain't right. You're talking about Keith Rowley talking about empathy and compassion. Let me show you something. The man have belly like a cow. You on a press conference and you want to buff. I tell all of that today. The man just buff and insult we. We responsible for COVID. None of we ever get COVID. He get COVID twice. But he insulting we. None of we take 50,000 people to Tobago to Zest to go and do gunman and she-hole. Yeah, like that. We have it on video, bro. None of we went there. None of we was whining down low into election. That's all you. But you come to buff we and tell me about if you don't wear a mask, you're contributing to the thing. But you are the only jackass in the whole press conference that don't have on a mask. The Minister of National Security sit down in the front row like a little boy on punishment. And we know, because I told Trinidad, when Fitzgerald Hines was interviewed by the media in his only press conference, Because I told you, the man was honest. And because he was honest, they will never let him speak in public again. And I'm savant. I see into the political future. I have a political crystal ball. I could tell you the play before the play make. And I told you all when Fitzgerald Hines admitted that Stuart Young lied. Because when Fitzgerald Hines admitted that the borders were porous, he admitted that Stuart Young lied. And that's not the only lie that Stuart Young has told. But that's a story for another time. But I watch Fitzy, Minister of National Security, like a little child in the front with the legs crossed, sitting on the two hands. He can't raise his hand to talk like the media. They have him gagged. Hush your mouth or we ain't going to even change the room. And Hines, no. He's the most fired member of the PNM in history. They fire him from every post he ever had. They fire him now today and everybody will say, well, it's Hines, they're expecting that. As the Minister of National Security, he was supposed to say, hey, boy, wear your mask. But Rowley there, with that whole face in the camera, on the TV, and I mean, there's plenty of his face on a big TV. To have all that face in my TV not right, he could at least cover half. But he want to lecture me about mask, and right away, I put out a picture for social media. Now, I know my numbers on social media bigger than his. So when he telling people about those of us who don't wear no mask are the ones that contributing to the problem, and the jackass in multiples of pictures with his mask here. He talking about chin mask, and he made chin mask a style. You see, this man really has more belly than a cowboy. That's all the Prime Minister. And you know, they still have people outside there that believe. And let me tell you, when you have money, I tell you, a fellow own a plaza. He is one rat's ass. He is the original shitter. After God made the world and rested and made Adam and Eve, he made the first shitter was he. And that shitter, there's one to bad talk everybody. Now he ugly in the night. In the dark he ugly. Much less for bright light, people that watch he. And he does bathe once every fortnight, like that's when water has come in Goodwood Park. He owned a big friggin' plaza, and all his employees, some of them can't talk English. And he talking shit, and he skilling up his face laughing, and them skilling up their face laughing with he. Because that's part of the job. You will do this, you will do that, and you will laugh when the boss laughs. And that's what rowdies get away with. None of them in this political party, the PNM, deserve the attention that they get from their followers. Not one of them. They have not one of them that you can respect. Not one. We have, and after I bust this mark, the whole country say, but wait now, you know, it's true, Philip Wright is a pharmacist and 4 junior doctors leading our whole pandemic response and a Microsoft suite with some graph. If it wasn't for the graphs, the press conference half as long, you know. It's the graphs they come to show you. And I see today, they debut green. Because last week they had pink, fuchsia, blue, and yellow. I see a green graph today. So I know somebody experimenting with it. That, and what you heard today, all of them come to tell you the 3 W's. Wash your hand, wear a mask, and wait to vote PNM out. And that's the 3rd W. And that's the 3rd W. Wait to vote this clueless band of jackasses and clowns into the political dustbin. And to the supporters who still supporting other party who ain't doing jackass for anybody, or let her blame too, eh? The Bible said the upholder worse than the thief. So let me talk from the back going forward. Genevieve jumped in the thing because I credit Dominic Hadid from Blue Waters as the one who buy the vaccines and gave it to the Antiguan president who said it was the Hadid family. I got misinformation. When I went and did my own research in Kendall Baggy, we found that it was the Hadid group. So we credited the wrong man with being magnanimous and able. But the point remains. So we changed it from Dominic Hadid to the Hadid group in Antigua. But the point remains, which is worse. Because the Hadid group in Antigua, if Trinidad is a hawk in the sea, Antigua is a booger. It's a snot. We is rocks. a tsunami, a piece of a tsunami will wash the whole Caribbean away. All our islands so tiny. A company called the Hadid Group in Antigua was able to source, buy, and supply vaccines to their prime minister and others. Our whole government, 6 months now, can't source vaccine. Joe Biden said on national television yesterday, he is going to vaccinate the world. So wait, our government say 10% will be vaccinated by August. That's 6 months. That means for you to finish vaccinate Trinidad and Tobago, you need 5 years. That's a long lockdown, Dread. A long lockdown. But the Americans say they're going to vaccinate the world. So Raul, the mystery with the bullshit about you can't source no vaccine. You don't want to source no vaccine. All you're enjoying this. All you're enjoying this power is make you feel like everything hanging lower, boy. Hitting the inside of your thigh when you walk. And that's how you're feeling. Manish. Watch me. I could tell them when I say come, cometh. And when I say go, goeth. And that's what you like. That's what you like. And the financiers behind you who have you chained up and talking shit like a circus act, they know that they just have to keep you feeling that hit in the inside of your thigh like you're a baddest. You're a zessa at 71. But they're making all the money. And every time one of all in government that need to feel like, oh, there's a baddest and a zessa, they're making hundreds of millions of dollars. 3 trillion gone. We have people in this country driving big car, living in big house. Can't explain where that money come from. Can't explain where it come from. We have people in the cabinet now who can't explain where the money come from. I would like to know where the stepdaughter of a certain minister get $15 million to buy drugs from. Where them drugs gone? And what going on with that case? But we don't have updates on that. We daughters. We stupid. Tell we stupid thing. You wear your mask on your chin, and both we for not wearing mask properly. You don't wear a mask at all, and tell we the 3 W's. Wear your mask, wash your hand, wait to vote the PNM out. What else this jackass talk about today? Because the Graph crew came and gave numbers that undermined what Rowley came to say. Because what they came to say is on the 29th of March. Hear me here? I'm about to tell you something that will give Rhoda Barrett and the rest of the Latrine Rat Squad a conniption that the spike that started in Easter had already started to turn around March. It's 19th or 29th, she say. When Richards showed that graph, it told we everything we needed to know. That it will always right itself. You took 50,000 people to Tobago. All you chuck and jam. Angostura had little girls in pom-pom shorts walking up and down the beach, jamming and getting them into the mood. They sponsor a whole boat with a DJ. How come nobody asks Angostura about that? 50,000 strong. Rohan said we take 50,000 plus. And he take them across in 3 days. You know it is to take 50,000 people in we 2 shake and bake and them 2 floating sardine can and take them to Tobago, 50,000 people. That was 19 trips back and forth a day. Everybody stand up in each other one pocket. Everybody breathing up in one another face. But that ain't cost no COVID spike. That ain't cost no spike. They on Pigeon Point, all up in one another. Hey, we wind down low, we wind down high. That ain't cost no spike. Nah. We is us. It's us. But what your press conference, now if we had a proper opposition today, we on the whole of justice steps tonight. Because the spike was already reversing before your state of emergency. You didn't need a state of emergency. The curfew that we have from 9 to 5 in the morning only preventing Lagahu and Dwen from congregating. Because nobody does be on the road, you have everything locked down. It's only KFC was bringing people out and KFC closed. So between 9 and 5, what are you doing? What is happening on the roads between 9 and 5 that you want we to see? Because they're about COVID. Can't be about COVID. Nobody was outside there. Nobody was outside there. But God still have to be a Trini. Because if these quank could still reverse their own Easter spike, God had to be putting a hand. He had to be putting a hand. And Rowley want to get up there and say, those of you who tell me don't use this for politics, you have to understand that they attacking me in the COVID-19 response, so I have to deal with it here. No, jackass. Don't deal with it there. Deal with it on the hustings. They can't deal with it there. So you are unfair. The only way that you could engage in open politics there is if you make it a debate. Invite the opposition along. Let them have their say on the state-sponsored, taxpayers-paid-for broadcast. Let them have their say on those microphones, on that podium that I pay for, and the rest of the taxpayers in the country, not you. You live in a tax-free life. It's we. We pay for it. So you don't get to dictate, if they tell me thing about COVID, we have to come and respond. I have to tell you, miss us with the rancid politics. This is a public press conference on COVID-19. Save the nonsense for the hustings. Then he went on this meandering ramble, praising himself and them for turning it around. And I telling myself, the man who lit the fire that caused the spike, praising himself for managing the spike. Arsonist and fireman in one man. Kid Rowley, you shut the economy down and destroy the livelihood of over 1 million plus people because 8% of the people who got COVID, who represents 1% of the population, required hospitalization. You ruined lives. You ruined families. You broke homes. Houses have been repossessed. You shut businesses permanently. Increased homelessness, mental illness, and suicide because less than 1% of the population got sick. We have a state of emergency because less than 20,000 people got sick over a year and a half, and 345 of them died out of 1,700,000. Of the 345 that died, 300 was over the age of 65. The other 45 were riddled with comorbidities. You trying to tell me that you ruined Trinidad and Tobago for a frolic on Easter weekend? There are people tonight who cannot feed their families, friend. All the bullshit aside, where in your press conference, and I don't want to hear from Colm Imbert. I don't think Colm Imbert's wife want to hear from Colm Imbert. He said $300 million was set aside for COVID relief. I hope some of that money set aside for at least a facelift or a microderm peel or one of them things that is due to make people look a little more presentable. That man putting his face on TV. Brother, they have small children running around outside there. You could scare somebody to death. They'll carry that image of you the rest of their life. Colm, nobody need to hear your maths, your arithmetic. Your legacy is everything you touch fall down. Like certain walls, every project that I know of that you was involved in had some problem with walls. So clearly you can't count. And as corporation sole, you appoint a lot of lawyers to a lot of state boards. And I know that. So I guess we have to look to you leveraging that. But Mr. Jackass, you single-handedly ruined this economy. And you have to answer for that. $5 billion to give Iowa and Machel $1,500 and 3,000 people $1,000 do add up. Keith Rowley, tonight, there are mothers and fathers that don't know how to feed their children. They have nobody to call because their parents and their family and their friends suffering the same suffer. You put everybody on the breadline. You've damaged people's businesses. Why was that not discussed in your press conference today? Because all they're eating are food? Because you and all of them present making our money from the taxpayers? What happens when the taxpayers have no more money to pay? The goose that lay in the golden egg. You ever check your partners who own the bakeries and the pharmacies that live in like America? When the people have no money to shop by the people who shopping by them, what's going to happen to the economy then? Did you think of that at all today at your press conference, Keith Rowley? Personally, I'm fed up of all of the talkers on social media who waits for you to talk shit for them to put out their version of it, and all of we go, Gil, big joke, kya, oh God, I'm dead in. That's not enough to run a country. You have the nation state of Trinidad and Tobago suffering, and it's shame have people from keeping from telling people the true condition. Plenty of them in trouble. Their business in trouble. They don't know how they're starting it back up. They don't know how they funding it to start back up to go. They know that when the SOE done, they don't call from the banks now. The banks about to live their best life. Funny, eh? That in all of this misery, them banks licking their chops. Nice houses coming up on the chopping block. Well, boy, what to tell you? I hear you, I feel for you, Rowley's a jackass, but the people at outside your gate going and throw your belongings in the street. Because they come for your house. And you spent the last 18 years paying off a loan that you can't pay for now. There are businessmen who can't start back up their business. They don't know how. And they know that they're going to have a story with the same banks. This has been an exercise in tomfoolery. A nation that worked against itself, that was conned into believing that it was black first or Indian first, so get in your section. Somebody write me today, what happens if I don't want to be red or yellow? I said, well, don't be. Nobody said you had to be. You come out your mother snatch and somebody hand you, you're in Gryffindor or you're in Slytherin. It's not like that. You get to choose. You get to look at the entire political smorgasbord and listen to everybody talk and say yourself, you know, some people actually know what the ass they're talking about. Why we not listening to them? Why we don't have in government people who actually sound like they have a clue of what they will do? Why we don't have in government people that are so disconnected from the 1% and the contract mafia that the contract mafia had them in court for defamation? Will Trinidad ever wake up to its responsibility? Or will funny money at election time buy you again? Anne-Marie Dulal had worked out per day what your $500 or even your $5,000 for your vote was worth. And then I worked out what each and every citizen's share of our national debt is. Neither of those two numbers funny. Now we have the ability to cuss one another and blame one another. I want to show you something else. Some of the greatest inventions in the world happen right here in Trinidad and Tobago. The screen that you're watching me on is a go forward and a push forward from a television set that was invented in Santa Cruz in Trinidad. Trinidad and Tobago is not an easily dismissed place. That is the conundrum of this country and our people. We are brilliant beyond comparison. Trinbagonians, you pick them up and you drop them anywhere else in the world, and they soar with the eagles. And I think that's what Clyde Weatherhead missed, because he watched the little Sahadeo girl and thought, well, now she going and bomb colored peoples. Clyde, you're a jackass. She, as a young brown-skinned girl, is a jet fighter pilot. Get out of your own way, brother, and acknowledge that. Trinidadians soar incandescently wherever they go. We are, and we punch so far above our weight class. You don't have to be a cocaine trafficker trapped in this to be a big fish in a small pond to be something. You could leave Trinidad and Tobago and go anywhere else in the world where hope and opportunity abounds. And a Trinidadian is like one of them plants you leave in a pot for years, who have his only root. They have no soil left. His only root there. And if you take them out of that pot and you put them in the ground, they shoot up 10 feet in a year. That's a Trini. Put them anywhere where they have hope and opportunity, where they're not stifled, where they're not blocked on all sides. They soar. I ask high-low food stores. People tell me the benefit of a chain store is they buy in bulk, so you save money. So how the hell is high-low prices higher than everybody? So that means high-low getting a double bite of the cherry. High-low getting to buy in bulk and getting a lower price than every supermarket, and then charging you a higher price than every supermarket. That is racket. And that is why Jervey Warner and them fire that fellow over the bags. When I expose him with his bags and his bullshit with Ramsaran peanut punch. Because for a minute, Massey was going to be an arbiter of who was racist. And I thought to myself, let me prove to Massey what a boycott feels like. And not 8 hours passed when they had to put out another release and said, we've made our point. No. The only point you made was that you demonstrated people power. Like when the Oval had to back down and tell Sunshine Snacks, kiss we ass, Jumbo had to sell jumbo peanuts in the Oval because the only people who will be watching cricket in the Oval is Lockjack family. That's people power. And if I can get Trinidadians to understand their power, their consumption. If the entire country tell KFC for a week, we ain't eating no KFC till the price come down. Christian Boutte and them have plenty money, you know, and they will last you out, no problem. They will outlast you, no problem, but the business will close down. And then do it with Royal Castle and do it with Church's Chicken. The consumer is the most important person in the community after the laborer. It is the laborer who makes it possible for the companies to run. It is them, those two groups, consumption and labor, that makes the economy run. And if Trinidadians, the small, poor, average person outside there buying half-pack cigarette, 1 cigarette at a time, if you only knew the power of your collective spend or your collective labor, the cogs in the machine that you are, the driver in the PH taxi that gets the worker to work, that grinds out that 9-hour shift that makes it possible for the boss man to make a profit. If you only knew the collective power we hold, you'll understand why the Chinese have a Chinese association and why the Syrians have a Syrian-Lebanese association. You will understand why people and groups get together and work together and say, I'll take care of your children. Buy from me, work for me, let's work together and work in harmony. Now imagine we take what has worked so successfully for the Syrian-Lebanese association and for the Chinese association and the Portuguese association and extrapolated. Yes, those things exist in Trinidad and Tobago. There's a union club for big businessmen, a wealthy class, that you're not supposed to go and look in and see what they're doing and what they're planning. There's a Clydesdale club. There are lodges. There are masons. There are societies and groups that get together and organize themselves because strength in numbers. Now imagine if all of Trinidad and Tobago could organize itself, strength in numbers, all of us, 1.4 million of us, rowing in the same direction, the best interest of everybody. I want a good education for your child. and I want a good education for my child. I want a job opportunity for yours. I want a job opportunity for mine. I want the banks to work for yours so your family could buy a house, and I want that for me. I want affordable living. I want between a unit of work and the cost of food to be close, to be getting closer and closer with every move we make. We could have that. We could have that the day we stop being Indian and African first and putting that into our politics. We could have that. Today I stand up in a gas station. The owner of the gas station, the pump attendant, a taxi driver pumping gas, all of them want to give me a bounce and give me a hello and tell me keep up the good work. And I know that what they're getting is this message. We have to get beyond the message, Trinidadians. You see the 128,000 of you all who signed that petition. I know it's more. There are about 50,000 petitions outside there that laziness and inefficiency and COVID lockdown and shit kept us from getting. But 128,000 of you didn't wait to go on change.org. Because that's at least, I could have do that. Andrea petition could have been on computer. We didn't have to work and meet every single day. We didn't have to promote. We didn't have to print. We didn't have to get at Candace and them who organized Felicia, Candace, Jody, Avanel, them walk. Enchan, Stefan, walk. Sean, Satish, walk. Even Joseph and Alexia and the rest in the back. Sandra, work hard. What's this girl name? Hadassah and oh God. Can't believe I'm forgetting your name, you know. I'll remember it while I go in and I will bring it up and I will remind myself. But these girls and these men and these people who work so hard, the security guard outside our office, every night, every single night we went back to that office, we had 1,000 more candle in box to move, and he would just come and offload no more. All in case of water. He, boss, this is what I could do to help. We stumbled upon it. We know we could do this. We don't have to be jackass anymore. EBC don't have to treat we like donkey to ride. We want a proper election. We want people to come and overlook our election. Precious. Thank you, Hadassah. Precious, I apologize for forgetting your name, love. Precious and Precious's mommy, who would come and open our meetings with prayers. Look, we the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we have all the power. And you know who we the people are? We the people are everybody who are not part of the unholy alliance that trying to get what they want from we. We are the ones that could stand up and say, listen, this is how we want the country run. This is how we want it run. That petition was a first example of that. And that is why Rowley frayed that petition like cat frayed holy water. He run in, but he can't hide. I want him to hear me say this again, partner. And they have 10 after me, so I could dead. They have 10 after me, so I could dead. Hear me say this. I don't want to dead. I want to live long. I have beautiful children. I want grandchildren. But I know what I signed up for. In this corrupt narco state, I know what I signed up for. Hear me. That petition coming to the parliament. And it coming with 250,000 people strong. As an instruction to you and your crocodile tear crying Attorney General and your one tear handicap weeping Minister of Health and your revolving door of Ministers of National Security. Or you will take that petition from us and you'll go inside our parliament, you and Kamala, and you will agree to debate what we want because we own the building and we pay a salary and we own the law and we own the constitution. It's ours. And the game is up. The jig is up. We understand it now. And 128,000 signatures is a precursor to 250,000 people walking. And you know, brother, that the drone shot of 250,000 people in town is every side street round that red house. You could almost hear Marshall. Look at people. We walk in peace. We walk in harmony. We walk in racial unity. One people under one flag. In that crowd, here every creed and race find an equal place. We march in under the banner of Andrea Barrett and every other citizen of this country who lost their lives to the incompetence of a $3 trillion government running 58 years now that has done jack shit for anybody. Our education system is shit. Our public health is shit. Our national security is shit. Every single person working in every one of those three things I just called tell me, Philip boy, I don't like to hear you say it, but the truth is shit. Public utilities, shit. Ministry of Works, shit. Ministry of Food Production, non-existent. Ministry of Social Development and Management, non-existent. This is a country that has no idea where it wants to go and no clue how to get there. 58 years of jackassery in the Red House that just cost we $500 million. And nobody to oversee how $51 million could cost to refinish doors when that $51 million could rebuild the whole Red House. And I have to stand up and argue that in court because UDCOT could take taxpayers' dollars and pay senior counsels to fight me and say that I am defaming an organization whose sole purpose is to take taxpayers' dollars and develop business and for the country effectively, at an effective cost. But all of it is a fight I am assembled for, I realize. Everybody born for something. This is me. I'm born for this. I have given a large part of my life to this and I have to see it through. So know this. Know it clear. At some point, you will end the state of emergency. At some point, COVID-19 will be in our past. At some point, we will walk to the Red House and we'll serve the petition. And it won't be the last. It'll be the first. Those 250,000 people that walk in with me, that is the change that we've been talking about in this country since Eric Williams stamped his demonic stamp on the parliament of this country. And I know there have people who think Eric was the father of the nation. But if he was the father of the nation, this is a nation whose father should have been charged with child abuse because he damaged us. He took a functional country and broke it. The Black Power movement that marched for black people in this country didn't march against the Queen. They marched against Eric. Don't ever forget that. He was Prime Minister 8 years already. That is who they march against. It was Eric Williams and the PNM. Rowley want to tell history. Rowley want to rewrite history. It is Eric Williams and the PNM that was keeping black people down from getting job in bank and rising beyond supervisor in the public service. You want to remember history conveniently, Rowley? Tell them who McCandle, Dagger and them march against in 1970. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we have to outlive all of this. All of it is our history. Peace, law-abiding, lawful, decent, good. Our people are the best people in the world. We fighting one another on the bottom here because we have no options. We had no options. We have options now. Andrea Barrett, God bless her soul. God rest her soul. God bless her family. Randolph Barrett, who we call Daddy Barrett, God bless you from now for all of eternity, for teaching us how this humble little family from up in the back of Arima taught a nation how to unite and how to do so in its own best interest. Andrea paid the ultimate price. And I will never let them forget your name, girl. I will never let them forget your name. We have 10 more minutes to go. And in this last 10 minutes, I want to ask all of you who have not yet joined the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, please do so. We do so much for so many, and we do so much for so many more. The Candlelight movement was built on the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. The Citizens Union didn't mention a word. Candice Barrett, the PRO of the Candlelight movement, wrote a touching piece thanking the Citizens Union for all that it did to facilitate and make it possible for there to be a Candlelight movement to do the job that we wanted to do. And I thank her for that. But we have to go forward from here. The Citizens Union has something called the Business Affiliates Program. If you don't know what that is, we sign up businesses. It costs $540 a year. If you work it out, that's a little more than $1 a day. And for $540 a year, we tell our card-carrying members, shop by this first. If you are looking for a mechanic or a hairdresser or a drugstore or a grocery or a parlor or wherever, this is our member. And it is a supporter, it is a supporting company for Citizens Union members. The Citizens Union, and it gives you discounts. We put a man who supplies garden vegetables on blast, and now he can't supply. The Kavi in Movie Town with the fish store, who brought down this. Kavi bring down this. Because he said, Philip, their masks selling it so expensive. Philip, I go sell these masks for $50 a box. I put it up on my wall. Kavi tell me, Philip, they buy out all. You cause a stampede in the store. Kavi owns the pet store in Movie Town, and he has boxes of those masks, $50 a box. Chip up, you and 10 people and share it up. You get about 10 masks for yourself. For what, $5? Come on, can't go wrong. But the business affiliate program in the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago helps businesses by giving them the opportunity to offer specials and discounts to our tens of thousands of members. But not only our tens of thousands of members, because the 100,000 plus people who follow this wall, and if you follow me, you'll see that once a month, we put out how much views we've gotten in the last month. And every day we get in, people from all over the world want to advertise. And as much as I would like to monetize the page and get me a little 5,000 US at the end of the month, I don't want to interrupt your scrolling on the page to see Nike ad and who just Nike, somebody else, they say they were representing Apple and all kind of shit. No, this is not a sponsorship, it is Steve Jobs. But anyway, the point is, if you are in business of any size, talk to Felicia Holder. Her number is 769-4590. If you can't afford right now, because of the COVID lockdown and all the drama that comes with it, we offer a plan that might even see you getting the first quarter for free. Call Felicia. We need your help. We give you massive business in return. It's a guarantee. If you could come on board for free for the first 3 months for you to see the power of Citizens Union consumers. Yeah, my phone gives me exactly 1 hour battery, so and I didn't plug it in, so I will make sure that I don't overstay my welcome tonight. I want you to hear the Citizens Union Business Affiliates Program right now. If you're in business, WhatsApp Felicia 769-4590. We are publishing a newsletter within days that is going to contain lists of companies, that it is going to be made available to the entire country, that go and shop here. You will get discounts, you will get savings. If you are not yet a member of the Citizens Union, membership has many, many advantages. Please join the Citizens Union. 486-2888, 471-2888, citizensuniontt.org, citizensuniontt.com. You could reach out to me, WhatsApp me. Last thing, I had to change my outgoing message. I made my number available, 682-2110. The whole world know that number. But that don't mean every time something bites you on your ass, you pick up the phone and dial. If hell, you have a minute, I want to tell you something that just bite me in my ass. No. I have a life. I answer the phone naked trying to get into the shower. I answer the phone in mid-biting my dinner because I think it's some kind of emergency. Don't do me that. So now my outgoing voice message is, I don't answer the phone if I don't know your number. Leave a WhatsApp and I'll call you back. If it's important, I will call you. But even if you talk to me on the phone, and you tell me what just bite you in your ass, and it's something that you want me to solve, I still have to tell you, type it up and send it WhatsApp. I do not play voice notes. I have a fella who's sending me, by now he must be sending me 1,000 voice notes, and I have not listened to any. So I don't know if he just makes the voice notes for the pleasure of making the voice notes, but please, I don't have the time. It's one of me. Look and see. So if you want to get some help from me, send me a concise WhatsApp to 682-2110. If I go into my WhatsApp right now and show you that while for this hour I am here, I will show you the kind of numbers that we have. Look at this. If I click on one, wow, I can't show that one. So I click on one, look. 182 messages. You seen it? Upside down, inside out. The point I want to make to you is this. I am going to answer all of those tonight, or I'm going to read them and discard them. I get the most outlandish conspiracy theories, and I watch it and I see it. Somebody's calling me now. I can't take the call. I get the most outlandish conspiracy theories. I can't take it, but I read, I listen. I get all the voice notes. I get all the messages. It comes to me, no problem. But the ones that I could help, the ones that I could action immediately gets copied and pasted. Things get forwarded to the commissioner. Things get forwarded to the Ministry of Health. I follow things up and I make sure, and there are a lot of people could give you testimonials on this thread tonight, right now, watching this could tell you that if it's something that I can solve, I solve it. If I can't solve it, I'll tell you, you need a lawyer, or you need to go to the Ministry of Local Government, go to this department. But we give you advice and we save your time. Membership has advantages. Join the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, because there will come a time I will only be able to assist members of the Citizens Union. Don't wait for something to bite you in your ass tonight. Try to join tonight and get help tomorrow, because there's always a queue. There's always a line of people that wanting help. And right now, with the lockdown and the fact that people can't meet with me, causing them stress and it causing me a little backup, but we will deal with that. The purpose of the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago is to protect and defend our people from public and private sector abuse. That is the first reason for the Citizens Union, strength in numbers. What it is, Kipling said in the Jungle Book, the strength of the wolf is the pack, and the strength of the pack is the wolf. But it also creates things like the Citizens Union Consumer Club, that business affiliate program, that offers businesses the opportunity to, tomorrow, we send 10,000 people in your store. You better make sure you have stock to sell. The price good, they come in. Okay? We need your support, and we're not asking you for it for free. When we said we were creating the Citizens Union, people started to count our money. They didn't count how much work we just do for it. So please, if you want to be part of something that can change the way the country works, join the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. We are every creed and race. I sit down in that meeting and I am proud. We are as cosmopolitan as it gets. We have everybody. We do not differentiate. We do not ask you about your religion. We don't ask you about your sexuality. Who you're praying to and who you're lying down with in the night is not my business. There was a fellow named Darren Bellamy, who is Jesus Christ Jr., who read the Bible and interpret it at verbatim. So he's come on my thread to buff everybody. The man come on my wall today to tell me Andrea Barrett used to worship idols. And I block the man again. That is jackassery of the highest order. We have to learn to live and let live. So when we're dead, we will find out what's the truth. Because what these clowns don't understand is there's an interreligious organizations. The heads of all their religions sit on one table. And if they could get along on the bottom too now. How hard is that? Live and let live. Let all of we, I grew up in Woodbrook. So in Woodbrook, Eid, Diwali, Christmas, Easter, everybody was in everybody's house. That's the way it's supposed to be. If it can't be so, what's the point of all of this? Going forward, 7:02, I have 1 more minute. Going forward, Trinidad and Tobago, we've tolerated a lot of shit as government for a long time. Isn't it time we did something different? You have a chance now. Join the Citizens Union and get a good walking shoe. For when you hear a walking from a Rima, join me. Until tomorrow, the 3 W's. Wear your mask, wash your hand, and wait to vote these jackasses out of government. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.